Keir Starmer has unleashed on Nigel Farage in Parliament after the Reform UK leader travelled to the US to expose the dire lack of free speech currently afflicting the UK.
The Honourable Member for Clacton is not here representing his constituencies in the House that he was elected to. No, he's flown to America to badmouth and talk down our country. And worse than that, Mr. Speaker, if you can believe it, he's gone there to lobby the Americans to impose sanctions on this country which will harm working people. You cannot get more unpatriotic than that.
The comments from Starmer came after Farage blasted his country before US Congress.
So it doesn't give me any great joy to be sitting in America and describing the really awful authoritarian situation that we have now sunk into. J.D. Vance did us all a service at the Munich Security Conference back in February this year. He really got this debate up and running, and it's a vital one. We've run on since then. The Online Safety Act was put in place by the last Conservative government. I don't doubt for a minute they're good intentions, but sometimes the road to hell is paved with those good intentions, and we are now where we are.
Farage's war against the UK government in defence of freedom of speech comes after several instances of arrests and censorship of people in the UK simply for voicing their opinions.
That we understood yesterday of Graham Linehan, the comedic writer, and he put out some tweets months ago when he was in Arizona, and months later he arrives at Heathrow Airport to be met by 5 armed police. Armed police, not a big deal in the USA, a very big deal in the United Kingdom. 5 of them. And he was arrested and taken away for questioning. He's not even a British citizen. He's an Irish citizen. This could happen to any American man or woman that goes to Heathrow that has said things online that the British government and British police don't like.
Commentator Riley Gaines doubled down on this, saying there is no such thing as free speech in Britain in response to the arrest of comedian Graham Linehan.
Well, I will say from my perspective, obviously my husband, he lived over there. That's where he grew up. He came to the States in 2018. From my perspective, having visited many times at this point, I mean, there is no such thing as free speech in England. If you have to worry about posting something on Twitter, from a comedian, mind you, by the way, and you have to worry about being met with 5 armed police officers as soon as you get off the plane, then you certainly do not have free speech. You don't have free expression.
And another victim of the UK's crackdown on free speech was Lucy Connolly, who spent 9 months in a UK prison over a tweet, now calling herself Keir Starmer's political prisoner.
Have you been Keir Starmer's political prisoner?
Absolutely. And me and several other people. Like I said, it's important to remember that it wasn't just me. He needs to practice what he preaches. I think, he's a human rights lawyer, so maybe he needs to look back at what people's human rights are, what freedom of speech means, and what the laws are in this country.
And these are only 2 examples of what the New York Post reports to be up to 30 arrests per day for petty things such as retweets and cartoons. Sky News host Caleb Bond doubled down, slamming the new digital ID Starmer is considering implementing into the UK.
While we're talking about craziness in the UK, they're now considering, Sir Keir Starmer's government is considering introducing digital ID, yes, digital ID, for every person in the United Kingdom because of, wait for it, illegal immigrants. Yes, the vanguard that they're going to use to bring in digital ID so that everything you ever do can all be centralised into one place owned by the government is the fact that people are getting on boats and coming across the channel. Now, there's always the option of stopping the boats or turning them back like we did here in Australia, but Sir Keir Starmer says, no, we're going to look into this digital ID because apparently there are too many of these illegal migrants going for jobs and it's impossible to tell whether they are illegal migrants or not. So you must have a digital ID which, according to the Times of London, would allow you to prove eligibility to work. It would allow you to pay bills. It would allow you to vote online. It would allow you to sign contracts, allow you to shop I mean, are we talking about you're going to need a digital ID to go into a shop now and to access health information? This is a one-stop shop for the government to have total oversight and total control of everything you do in your life, and they're going to try and get it passed by saying, well, we need it to combat illegal.
But not everyone in the US is on Farage's side, with Democrat Jamie Raskin blasting him in Congress.
For a man who fashions himself as some kind of a free speech martyr, Mr. Farage seems most at home with the autocrats and dictators of the world who are crushing freedom on earth. Mr. Farage wants to get rid of the Online Safety Act in his country, a law shepherded by the Conservative Party and implemented by the Labour Party, which bans child pornography online, protects children from harmful content, forbids non-consensual pornography and other unlawful content. He should go and advance the positions he's taking here in Congress today in Parliament, which is meeting today, if he's serious about it. To the people of UK who think this Putin-loving free speech imposter and Trump sycophant will protect freedom in your country, come on over to America and see what Trump and MAGA are doing to destroy our freedom, kidnap college students off the street, ban books from our libraries, militarize our police and unleash them against our communities, take over our universities, wreck our professional civil service, and turn the government into a money-making machine for Trump and his family. You might think twice before you let Mr. Farage make Britain great again. I yield back.